Annissa Coy here with Firehouse Education and this week's Ask Annissa video column. And this week, our question came in from Sarah. And Sarah emailed me and asked, "Hey Annissa, love your videos. Thank you so much for doing them. Always look forward to them every single week in my email. I have a question for you. I was looking at your class that you're doing coming up here in a couple of weeks in San Diego for the fire cleaning. And my question is, how do I know if fire restoration work is really something that I want to do in my company or that it's a right fit for me? I mean, we don't do any kind of reconstruction. We don't have any carpenters that work for us, that sort of thing, and have no experience, nor do we in our state have a contractor's license. So I'm just not sure if fire restoration is something for us to get into. If it really is the high profits that you talk about, maybe we need to look at getting our specialty license and becoming a contractor so that we can do that kind of work. Look forward to hearing your input on that. And again, thank you so much for all that you do for all of us. Have a great day. Sincerely, Sarah." Awesome. Okay, that was a good question. Well, Sarah, so a couple things. One, I don't have a contractor's license either, and I don't do anything with reconstructing anything on a building, and I do fire restoration all the time. So I want to be really clear that you don't have to do actual rebuilding of a house just because you do fire restoration. So I want to talk to you about, there's basically three different types of fire scenarios that you're going to find yourself in on a job, okay? You're either going to find yourself in what we call a soot, smoke intrusion, odor intrusion. We call those a clean in place. And then you're going to find yourself in a possible scenario where you're going to have part of a home that is like a clean in place. It's got maybe a medium to mild intrusion with soot. You may have to, scrub walls with degreasol and get a little more aggressive than just say a wall wash you would do in a clean in place, where you're going to have to maybe paint. You might even have to remove some cabinetry to get behind the cabinetry and reseal that area. And maybe just very, very minimal construction, right? Then you have the third scenario, which is a whole lot more extreme. That is a scenario where you're usually dealing with a lot of damage, right? So the first scenario, little if any damage. The second scenario, you're going to have a little bit of damage, but mostly it's cosmetic. It's not really heavy structural. The third scenario, you're going to have a lot of damage. You're going to have a lot of structural damage. You may even have, a roof that's partially burned off, or you might have a hole in the roof where the fire department had to, take an axe and get in there and shoot water into an attic or something. You could potentially have windows that are melted or blown off. You could have doors that are melted as well. So oftentimes those take, yes, a lot of contracting work. I mean, either you in your company are going to have that knowledge, or you're going to be able to hire someone and sub that out, which in my state, even if I hire someone to do those things, I still have to have a contractor's license. So your state regulations may vary there. I'm not sure, Sarah. So you're going to have to definitely check that out. But in that scenario, it's very involved. Those jobs can take months to not only demo, but deal with. You're often not going to have a lot of restoration cleaning going on there because there's so much demo that happens that a lot of the material will get removed, even potentially clear down to studs in some scenarios where you actually have to remove electrical wiring and the insulation and everything. Now you may actually have to scrub the studs and then turn around and potentially seal that for odor issues, but you're not going to have a lot of cleaning. The other thing is that when it comes to the content side of it, you're going to have a lot of destroyed content. Usually in those kind of scenarios, I've seen upwards of 60, 50, 60, 70% of the contents are log destroyed. We can't clean them, which of course means we don't make any money. So, those are definitely not the majority of fires that you deal with. Oftentimes that's when people are going in, especially on the content side, and they're just logging destroyed items and there's really nothing much to be done there. The majority of the jobs that you're going to deal with are those minimum ones. Oh, by the way, this more extreme situation, that's not the high profit stuff either, because that deals primarily with reconstruction, and that is not where the profits is. In fact, that's the lowest profit margins in our industry. Okay. So, and that's also where most of the headaches are, by the way. Most of what you're going to deal with is that medium to real light. like way medium to really light type of job. And honestly, that the perfect job is that first one I talked to you about, the clean in place, which is actually the type of job that we're going to be doing in my class in December down in San Diego, which, by the way, there are a couple spots still available in that class if you're interested. But that is the one where that's the moneymaker. That's the one where there's a ton of everything's cleaning, the contents, the structure, there's all of that to happen. The profit margins are ridiculously high in that scenario. And it's an in and out job. You never leave the honeymoon phase. It's like the perfect fire. Honestly, it's the perfect fire restoration job. And the other reason that it's so perfect is that you're able to have the biggest success. I mean, we're able to clean and restore the majority of the house and the contents, and so it's just less stressful all the way around for the homeowner as well. So we've got those three different scenarios. I really want to make sure that you understand, in order to do a fire restoration, you do not have to be a contractor, and you don't necessarily have to rebuild someone's house. I know people that do this work. They are not licensed contractors, and they don't touch a hammer. They don't pound a nail in a 2x4. They're just doing the restorative cleaning. So it's a really cool niche that we need more people in. And I think that part of the reason that we don't have enough people in the industry that do that is because they don't understand, and they think they have to be a contractor, or there has to be, building repairs done to be able to do that kind of work. So Sarah, I hope that answered your question. If you're watching this video and you at all considered getting into the cleaning side of fire restoration, you should definitely go to our website, firehouseeducation.com, and check out our training available and our class that's coming up. We're going to be down in San Diego December 2nd through the 6th, and we're doing a 5-day on a job site intensive hands-on fire cleaning, like I was just telling you about, the highest profit margin stuff in our industry. So anyway, Sarah, thank you so much for emailing me, and thank you all for your comments and likes on the video. I also want to let you know that I have a lot of Ask Annissas coming up, talking about the fire cleaning and the wildfire and the marketing for that, because I got a plethora of emails and text messages from people when we had the recent fires in California. So I'm a little backed up on that. I have responded personally to everybody, but I'm going to do Ask Annissas so that everybody can benefit from those questions. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me. Please be sure and go over to rnrmagonline.com and subscribe to their e-newsletter, and be sure that you're subscribed to the magazine and getting your digital copy. They kind of have a new look going on over there, and it's just fabulous. So be a cool kid and subscribe. Be sure to go to my YouTube channel, Firehouse Education, and subscribe there as well, and ring that little bell so you get notification when I put up new videos. And on that note, send your questions to Annissa at firehouseeducation.com, and I just might feature you on next week's Ask Annissa video column.